We all crave transformation, don't we? From dreams of wealth and success to the fulfillment of purpose and inner peace, the desire to evolve into something more is deeply ingrained in human nature. But what if the path to realizing those ambitions isn't about chasing after more money or success? What if it's about becoming the person you were always meant to be? Imagine this: waking up every morning, not to hustle, not to struggle, but to flow seamlessly into a life that aligns so deeply with who you are that money, wealth, and success become byproducts rather than the focus. Welcome to the world of identity shifting, a concept that turns traditional notions of success on their head. The idea that by transforming your inner identity, you can shift your external reality is deeply rooted in ancient wisdom across many cultures. In Hindu philosophy, the Bhagavad Gita teaches that true transformation comes through self-realization, the understanding that you are not just the body or the mind, but a divine soul. This realization enables individuals to transcend the illusions of the material world and align themselves with their true purpose, leading to a life of peace and abundance. Similarly, ancient Egyptian civilization revered Maat, the goddess of truth, balance, and cosmic order. Maat wasn't just a deity. She embodied the principle that life thrives when aligned with the universe's natural harmony. Egyptians believed that living according to Maat, in truth and righteousness, would ensure a prosperous life and even a favorable journey in the afterlife. This was their way of ensuring that their external world mirrored their inner virtues and intentions. But how does this work in real life? How can identity shifting manifest a life where money flows effortlessly and you feel at peace, regardless of your bank account balance? Let's explore 3 fundamental principles that guide the process of identity shifting and how they can reshape your relationship with wealth, work, and life itself. The first principle is based on the belief that you already have what you truly want. This might sound counterintuitive at first, but hear me out. Most of us operate under the belief that who we are right now isn't enough. We think we need to become smarter, more confident, more disciplined, or more skilled to achieve our goals. This mindset assumes there's something inherently defective about the current version of ourselves. It suggests that in order to reach success, we need to mold ourselves into someone else, someone better. This is where most people get stuck. If you've ever set a lofty goal like making millions or reaching the pinnacle of your career, you may have felt a pit in your stomach, a feeling of discomfort, unease, or dread. It's as if something deep inside is telling you that this isn't quite right for you. This feeling is your subconscious nudging you, hinting that you're pursuing a goal that isn't aligned with who you really are. True identity shifting begins when you start to recognize these misalignments and stop chasing goals that society, family, or culture told you to want. Instead, you start pursuing the goals that feel natural, the ones that bring a sense of ease and excitement. When you align your goals with who you truly are, everything begins to flow. The effort you exert feels like joy, not struggle. The key question to ask yourself is, what does your future self look like, and how does that vision make you feel? If you feel light, excited, and joyful, you're on the right path. But if your vision fills you with tension or anxiety, it's a sign you're following the wrong roadmap. Now let's talk about the second principle, the pendulum of society. No, I am not talking about the pendulum used in physics, but the collective energies that shape and often distort our lives. In essence, pendulums are like-minded groups or societal forces that either support your personal evolution or keep you stuck in old patterns. These forces can be subtle, like the pressure to conform to a certain career path, or more overt, like societal expectations of success. Have you ever been cruising through life, feeling good about your progress, and then, bam, something happens that throws you off course? Maybe a colleague criticizes you, or an unexpected problem arises, and suddenly, all your positive momentum is gone. That's the pendulum in action. It sucks your energy, pulling you into its sway, keeping you stuck in anger, guilt, or fear. Society thrives on keeping you at these lower emotional states. Why? Because they're mobilizing emotions. When you're angry, you take action, often in ways that serve someone else's agenda rather than your own. Think about how social media thrives on outrage, or how many people spend their lives working jobs they hate just to meet societal expectations. These are examples of destructive pendulums in action. But there's good news. You don't have to play by these rules. The moment you decide to stop feeding the pendulum with your resistance or attention, it loses power over you. By shifting your energy from these negative states and aligning it with your true intentions, you create space for constructive pendulums, those that actually help you reach your goals. Imagine surrounding yourself with people who elevate you, encourage you, and push you toward becoming the best version of yourself. This is the essence of constructive pendulums. They harness collective energy in a positive way, enabling you to move forward with ease. So, the next time you feel your energy being hijacked, whether it's through an argument, a frustrating setback, or a negative thought pattern, recognize it as the pendulum's pull. Then choose to redirect your focus toward what truly matters. You'll be surprised how quickly your momentum returns when you do. The final principle of identity shifting is perhaps the most transformative: all gas, no brakes. But what does this mean? It's about moving forward with an absolute commitment to your authentic self, shedding the hesitation, doubt, or fear that keeps so many people stuck in the same patterns. At first glance, this might sound reckless, but it's far from mindless risk-taking. Rather, it's about removing the protective armor we've accumulated, layers of defense built up over years of societal conditioning, fear of failure, or the pursuit of others' approval. The real transformation begins when we stop living in fear and embrace our true purpose with full vulnerability. A compelling historical example of the principle all gas, no brakes is Alexander the Great. As a young king, Alexander inherited his father's empire and faced immediate threats from a coalition of powerful enemies. Instead of consolidating his power and playing it safe, he embarked on a daring campaign to expand his empire. His boldness, though seemingly reckless, was driven by an unwavering belief in his destiny. A pivotal moment in his career was the siege of Tyre, a city deemed impregnable due to its island location. Rather than opting for a protracted siege, Alexander took a bold, unconventional approach. He ordered the construction of a massive causeway to connect the island to the mainland and launched a full assault. This audacious move, driven by his belief in his vision, led to a decisive victory. Alexander's success was not merely due to his military tactics, but also his willingness to embrace vulnerability and risk. By stepping into the unknown and discarding conventional strategies, he exemplified the power of moving forward with all gas and no brakes. This approach, fully committing to his purpose and overcoming fear, allowed him to achieve extraordinary growth and cement his legacy as an unstoppable force. Now, some of you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but what if things don't go my way? What if I take the leap and everything falls apart? This is where faith comes in. Faith not just in yourself, but in the idea that there's a higher power at work in your life, one that knows more than you do about what's best for you. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that the universe has a plan for you, one that's often better than anything you could imagine for yourself. The key is to stop fighting against what's happening and to start flowing with it. This doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. On the contrary, you continue to take action, but you do so from a place of trust, not control. For example, I once set a financial goal that I thought would make my life perfect. I wanted to make a certain amount of money per year, work from my laptop, and live a life of freedom. But when I surrendered my desire to the universe, when I stopped insisting that things had to happen exactly as I planned, my life unfolded in ways I couldn't have anticipated. I achieved far more than my original goal, and in a way that felt effortless. Surrendering doesn't mean you don't have goals or intentions. It simply means you're open to the idea that the universe might have something even better in store for you. And when you're open to that, you stop resisting the flow of life. Things start to fall into place, almost as if by magic. As you move forward in your own life, consider these three principles: aligning with your true self, navigating societal pendulums, and living with vulnerability and trust. These are the keys to identity shifting, the process of becoming the person you were always meant to be. When you make this shift, something incredible happens. Money, success, and all the external markers of achievement become secondary. They're no longer the driving force. They're the natural byproducts of living in alignment with who you are. And when that happens, money becomes meaningless, not because it doesn't matter, but because it no longer controls you. In the end, the goal isn't to accumulate more wealth or success. It's to live a life that feels so true, so aligned with your deepest desires, that the journey itself becomes the reward. So, are you ready to make the shift? The universe is waiting.